Hi Stampers, it's Kelly Ence from Stamping with Kelly. I'm so glad you could join me. Today is March 21st of 2023, and if you're watching this in the future, please reach out to me because you could probably still stamp along with me. I have extra project kits that I can mail anywhere in Canada, and they're available for free with a minimum $35 order, or you can purchase any of my past kits for $20 each or $15 each if you purchase more than 6. So please reach out to me and I will be happy to let you know which months I have on hand. This is my monthly card club, and so I hold this online every month on the third Monday and Tuesday, and I have stampers join me from all over Canada, and then also people join from all over the world too. So if you're watching this, please type into the comments where you're watching from. I love to see where people are joining me from. So I've been a demonstrator now for, oh my goodness, it's coming up on 16 years this May, and I'm so excited because May I'm also going on a big trip from Stampin' Up. I was actually lucky enough to earn, I'm saying lucky, but I worked my butt off. I was lucky enough and worked hard enough to earn the Stampin' Up trip to Norway. So this May, my husband and I are going away, and it's going to be a week long on the Anthem of the Seas cruise ship. We're going to go all over Norway, and I'm so excited. I'm just thrilled. So I do have to say that this is like not a usual thing for demonstrators to experience. Stampin' Up! Has been cracking down and saying that we have to say we're the top 1% of demonstrators who are achieving this. So I do have to say that legally, but also I'm just so thrilled to be going. So I'm in the thick of planning everything right now, and just so excited, dreaming of a trip with my husband. This is going to be our first trip without kids in over 7 years, or almost 7 years, I guess, and since we became parents. And it's our 10-year wedding anniversary. So it's a really fun event that we are kind of celebrating a few different things. So anyways, now I've done my blurb. Hopefully people are joining here. I am seeing no comments yet, but please write into the comments so that you can let me know if you can hear me or not. I really appreciate that, because we're about to get started talking about some of the promotions that Stampin' Up! Has. Now, okay, this is a really big, important time of year. So let me explain what's going on. We have 2 catalogs. We've got our annual catalog and we've got our mini catalog. So the annual catalog looks something like this. If you don't have a copy of this, then please, please, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to get you a copy of those. Of that and this too. This is our mini catalog. Both of these are valid until May. Oh, look at this. Yeah, May 1st for both of these. And but on, oh, Shada, thank you so much. Hello, it's good to see you. Thanks for letting me know that the quality is good too. I appreciate it. You never quite know, right? So both of these catalogs are available until May 1st. But on March 29th, so that's coming up in just, a handful of days here, like a week, Stampin' Up! Is going to be releasing the new catalogs to demonstrators. So that means cat's out of the bag. We're going to know what's retiring. And so we share that with you that day. So you won't get a copy of the new catalog quite yet because demonstrators have to have a chance to pre-order and look through it. But what you will have a chance to learn is what is not going to be continuing from this annual catalog and what is going to be discontinued from the mini catalog as well. Stampin' Up! Has also given us a teaser that we're having a color renovation. So what does that mean? In the past, it means that even up to like 15 colors are removed and added into our color families. And so if we take a look at our color families, sometimes as a demonstrator, I settle into them and I get comfortable and I know them kind of like the back of my hand here. So let me just show you there. So the color families. And then we've got our in colors as well. So we know that some of our in colors are leaving us. The ones that are leaving are Polished Pink, Pale Papaya, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, and Fresh Freesia. Those are the ones that are ending in 2023. The ones that are continuing forward for another year, because they come for 2-year periods, Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. So what I'm thinking, like what it makes sense to me is like the ones that are more like softer are the ones that are leaving us. The ones that are quite vibrant are the ones that are staying for another year. So I'm so glad that those ones are staying, but guys, I'm heartbroken that some of these are leaving us. Like Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, Fresh Freesia, those ones to me maybe could be contenders for going into our core collections. So what does that mean? When 15 colors are added, 15 colors are probably leaving. And I'm just saying 15 because that's a number that they've done in the past. It could be 10, it could be 5, it could be 20, it could be all, it's not all of them. There's no chance that they're doing all of them. Don't have a heart attack. I almost gave myself one there. Like, pool party, no! Okay, so it's not all of them, but it could be many of them, or it could be a few of them. So we'll learn more on the 29th of March. Now, what you need to do right now is take a look through all of your ink pads, all of them, and make sure you have re-inkers. So the re-inkers are the little bottles of ink which will keep your ink pad working for many, many years to come. Once those re-inkers are not sold from Stampin' Up! Anymore, they're nearly impossible to find. So what you need to do right now is order re-inkers for all of your inks. And I'm not kidding. Within hours in the past, re-inkers have started to sell out for items that are retiring. So you cannot delay on this, okay? And if you really don't want to order for all of your ink pads right now, at least make a list. And then the morning of March 29th, you got to get on the website and you got to get the ones that you don't have and add them to your cart and do an online order checking out with the host code, and that will qualify you for free card club projects. Or if you've already placed an order, you might top up to receive your 2-part item for free from me. That's a gift from me. Okay, so the other thing, so the re-inkers are the things that are going to sell out usually the quickest. Now, some other things that really sell out are the papers too, and even the ink pads. So please, please, please don't delay on these. I would hate for you to be heartbroken. The most heartbreaking thing for me is when people don't have re-inkers, because then essentially, like, if you leave that ink pad open, it's like almost done, right? If you leave that open overnight, like I tend to do sometimes, or my kids do sometimes. So that's heartbreaking for me, and I can't handle that stress. So please, please, please do me a favor and just check on your re-inkers, okay? So March 29th, have I told you enough? Have you remembered? Have you put it in your calendar? I'm going to send an email too. So if you're not on my email list, please, please, please reach out. I can add you to my newsletter list, and then I can bonk you on the head, and then you'll remember that you need to do this on the 29th. Now, what is that 2-part free gift that I was telling you about or mentioning? This in March is like all about the gold and the shimmer and the glitz. So at the top there, you can see those are our Gilded gems. And these are both retired items as well. So you can't get them from Stampin' Up! Anymore, but you can get them from me when you place a minimum $100 order. So you'll get 2 pieces. You'll get 1 pack of those brand new Gilded gems, which have retired from Stampin' Up! But still have the same sparkle power as before. And then at the bottom there is the gold vellum. It's, what is it called? Gold shimmer vellum. So it's kind of see-through paper like vellum, but it's really sparkly and it's really pretty. So you won't want to miss out on that. And if you've already placed an order this month, again, I keep track of it all, and you can top up your order over $100. If you're wondering if like where you're at or if you're close, then just reach out to me. I'd be happy to let you know where you're at so we can be totally prepared for March 29th. Oh, I'm so ready. I might even log in at midnight, like 12:01. I do that sometimes. Okay, what else do we have going on? I have one product share left if you guys are interested. I make these in sets of 4, so you're very welcome to join me in having a share of everything for the embellishments that are from the mini catalog. So that means embellishments, paper, like specialty cardstock, ribbon as well. And then the gotta have it all special is what you gotta do though, right? Like it's a $5 savings plus you get 30 bonus sheets of 6-inch by 6-inch paper. So it ends up being a $102 value for only $85. I can ship these anywhere in Canada, so just reach out. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I have very smelly hand soap right now, and so it's not helping. Okay, I've got it together now. All right, so yeah, just reach out to me if you want that last one. All right, this is what I was just talking about. Fresh new colors are coming March 29th. So there's going to be an announcement for the new in colors that are joining us. So those are 5 colors that are going to be coming for 2 years. So I don't know. I'm looking at this. I'm seeing clouds. I'm seeing a planet like Saturn. I'm seeing rainbows, and I'm so confused. I don't know them yet either. So let's find out together on March 29th. If you are next to your keyboard, please just type in for bragging rights, an eternal glory. Like, what do you think the new colors are going to be like? Are they going to be bright? Are they going to be subtle? Are they going to have like a certain color in there that you're hoping to see? I really, really want to know. And even if you have some ideas about the color renovation too, let me know. Which colors do you need forever from Stampin' Up? And you would just cry if they retired. For me, it's Pool Party. I love Cherry Cobbler. I really do. What else do I love? Oh, I love Crumb Cake. I love like a lot of the blues, but you know what? There's a blue that I'm really hoping is going to come back from some of our in colors. And can you guys guess it? Misty Moonlight. I love that one. So, okay, write in the comments, and then I'd be really happy to learn what you guys think is going to happen. Okay, we have a bunch of online exclusives that have just been launched to the online store only. So think about these as like regular kind of products, but they're not published in a catalog, and they may say sell out at any time. And when they sell out, they may be replenished or they may not be. So it's like, I don't know. I kind of think, look at this section first, and if there's something that you love, like get it, because it might not be available. And you guys, some of these items are not available already, like just a couple weeks into this new offering. Now they are reordering many of those, so I was going to use some of them this month, and I switched gears and I saw when they're coming back in stock, and it's next month. So we're going to play with some of these next month, but I am excited to tell you we have some circle punches back. They've brought back the 1 3/4 and the 2-inch circle punches. They have sold out, but they're coming back. I know they're coming back. So if there's anything that you're wondering about, I can actually look behind the scenes and see if they're being reordered or when they're being reordered and when they're supposed to be back in stock. So if you're ever wondering about anything, just send me an email, drop me a line on Facebook, or however you want to get in contact with me. I would love that. And I'd be happy to let you know when things are supposed to be back in stock. Of course, sometimes things change, and yes, we can't really tell, but I can give you a ballpark anyways. So let's talk about some paper pumpkin now. So this is last month's paper pumpkin kit, was the Sunshine and Smiles. And I just wanted to remind you about this because it's so cute. And those dies that coordinate are, I think, only $8.25 before shipping and handling and tax. And I have a few extras of those. So just let me know if you didn't get your hands on them, and then I can hook you up with those. And then the Sunshine and Smiles paper pumpkin box. Let's take a look at that right now. I'll put you down to my hands here. All right, so Paper Pumpkin is our monthly subscription service from Stampin' Up. And this is 10 years this month. 10 years old. And would you believe it? I got every single kit from the last 10 years. At least one, I should say, of every single kit from the last 10 years. So this Sunshine and Smiles paper pumpkin is now available for purchase from my retired kits sale. And I do have many retired kits for sale. Paper pumpkin, all-inclusive kits, project kits, many that Stampin' Up! Has offered over the years. I love to keep them on hand because I think they're just so great for new stampers and experienced stampers. They're great for birthday gifts as well for kids or for adults. And I love these kits. They give you all the supplies you need to create these projects, and it's so easy. All you have to do is grab I just grabbed one of these adhesives because I like them a little bit better than the glue dots that are included. I love using my Take Your Pick tool. It really helps me with some of the smaller gems. And some scissors, and then a clear block. So they will give you actually for free one of these clear blocks, D size. It's a little bit different than our ergonomic ones, but one of those will come free in your very first kit. So let's dive into this kit a little bit. This one has really cute, like, multi-dimensional cards. In your kit, you will also have a stamp set that you can use for the kit and also forevermore. This one's got some really awesome sayings in there, and I love the cute little frog, the flowers, the sun, the kite. You've got so much. And then a Mango Melody ink spot. If you join Paper Pumpkin for 12 months, you will get a different colored spot each month. So you'll end up with like a whole rainbow full of colors. Then you also got, so you've got these awesome little envelopes. Look at these die cut pieces. Adorable, right? And you just pop those right out. They're already colored and everything. So I like that the stamp set gives you some of the images, right? And then it also gives you some other ones that are already colored and ready to go. Then you got these little sketchy looking things, and you can stamp the sayings that you need in those. You got some adhesives, so glue dots and dimensionals. And then you've got these cute little epoxy pieces, little raindrops and circles. Now look at these fun multi-dimensional cards. They've got little peek-through openings. So this one here gets folded. I'm doing 3 at a time here because that's kind of how I do it. And then you put this little piece in there, and then you build your little vignette. And here we go. Same sort of thing. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And then what do we have here? Just a white one, but it ends up being some of these other little pieces that go in. Is that actually white? Did one of these get flipped around? No, it's actually white. What do we do here? Oh, I see. So we stamp the sun, and then we put in this grass, and we build up our scene that way. You can tell I haven't made this quite yet. I'm working on, you know, assembling 200 cards to send out all over Canada every month is a lot of work, would you believe it? So sometimes it's just a wonderful little escape for me to do my paper pumpkin, but I always have to get through club before I can start playing around, right? Have to do our work before we can play and have fun, but I know that this is waiting for me. I'm so excited for that. So if you want one of those, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to get you one of those as well, and the dies that go along with it too. So now we should talk maybe about next month's paper pumpkin. So this is called All the Little Things, and if you sign up now using a prepaid code or just signing up month to month before April 10th, then you will get a kit. And this is the sneak peek. They always give us a sneak peek every month. So it says it comes with a free box organizer. So the box that I showed you there, they've given us a teaser that it's a little insert that you can actually put inside your little box to organize all the ink spots that will come each month. So I'm excited about that. And as you know, I've been a subscriber since the very beginning. So I have 10 times 12, right? 12 months in a year. And I've been getting them for 10 years. You do the math on that. That's a lot of ink spots. So I can store those now and get them all organized. And I'm going to use that template. And then I think I'm going to organize even more of my paper pumpkin boxes. I'm excited about it. This one here says, discover blossoms filled with iridescent foil to make all your crafts shine. And sorry, I'm just going to come closer here because I realize that I need some hand cream because I look like I have alligator scales here. I love March in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Should be nearing spring. It was the first day of spring, I think, what, yesterday? Yeah, my hands are still in very much winter mode. How are your hands doing? My poor feet. My kids are like, Mom, your feet are all cracked up. It's like, don't even look at them. All right, so now that I've got these beautiful moisturized hands, let's go back and talk about which kit was actually delivered this month. So, Paper Pumpkin, you can see 10 years, and there's always a special gift in the 10-year box. I am so excited about this. I was saying last night to my in-person stampers, I guess I shouldn't say in-person, they're still online, but it's an interactive Google Meet. So I get to see their faces. So I feel like we're in person. But I was saying that I wouldn't picture putting all of these colors together, and I would never try to do like a watercolor wash with all these colors because I think it would end up a black mess. But I'm so happy that Stampin' Up! Has done that. And the outside of the box always gives us a little hint as to what's inside. Okay. I'm just reading some of your comments now. So Alana says, Polish Pink, you want Polish Pink to stay? Oh, you're so sad it's going. I see. Oh, and my mom's watching. Clear as a bell from Mexico. Oh, thanks, Mom. I love that. So in this box, they have an extra bonus stamp set here. So I'm really thrilled about this. I just think that the value for these stamp sets is incredible. So let's take a look at that bonus stamp set then. It actually coordinates with the kit, and you get happy, and which you can coordinate with spring, Easter, anniversary, and to call you friend. You get this little pot, which you can fill with different flowers or different leaves, and then this cute little row of spots, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, which you can use to decorate your pot or background or whatever you want to do. So this is the bonus stamp set in addition to our fabulous stamp set that's included normally. So this one says, to a wonderful mother, here's to another year of growth. Birthday, which you can pair with your happy, right? And happy Mother's Day, right? Happy Mother's Day. And you deserve the best. Sending all our love to an incredible woman, and then this cute little sprig here too. So again, these sayings are so handy to have, and for the value, it's incredible what you get in one of these kits. You can purchase this from me starting April 10th, but if you want a set, then please, please, please reserve because I only have a few left. You get a polished pink ink spot. So speaking of polished pink, Alana, this is one of our in colors that's leaving us, and I can't believe it. I never go pink on my nails, but this month I was feeling pink, and then this arrived and I was like, did I have a premonition or something? So this is our little preview for the next month that we just talked about. And then let's take a look in our kit. So 10 years of growth Paper Pumpkin kit. You have 9 cards, 3 of each of 3 designs, and they have these beautiful foil elements on them. So I'll give you a little overview here, and then you can take a look. I love that one with the little library. So again, you've got your adhesive, so some little mini dimensionals and mini glue dots. These are for stamping all of our sayings, and then look at these cute pots. I'm going to just angle it this way. You can see that they actually are textured. I love that. And then we've got some beautiful sprigs, some gold foil happy, and these look like they're stickers maybe. It's quite thick. I think it's stickers. And you've got gold foil here. There we go. Little polka dots on those covers. Look at this. This is a little bookshelf, and so your little plant goes here, and some other items. But they've actually got some gold foil here, here, and here. And then the last one, a beautiful window, which you can just put your plants in there. Again, now that we have an idea of how those come together, you can see this one's got the window in the back, this one's got the polka dots and that happy foil, and then this one has a plant on the bookcase. And now to build up some of those items, look at these gorgeous die cuts. Again, you've got more of the gold foil and the plant pots there. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And then to match the envelopes as well. So an amazing deal, an amazing kit, and I'd be so happy to get this in your hot little hands. So please reach out to me. Again, I do order extra kits. They're always a surprise, even to us demonstrators. They keep this pretty under wraps. But once they are ordered to my house, then they become available for purchase the next month, on the 11th of the month, I should say. And that's as soon as the next kit becomes the active one, and this becomes a retired product. So if you are interested in that, please reach out as soon as you can. All right, you guys, if you are ready for this, please grab your packet if you're crafting along with me. And if you're not, again, please reach out, because I think I would probably have an extra one for you to craft along with me. These are the projects that we're going to be making tonight. So the first one that we're going to be doing is from a paper pumpkin kit from, well, a couple of years ago actually. It's called the Hope Kit. I'm just having a problem here with my chair. There we go. So this Hope Kit was available. I don't know why I don't have that sheet now. I don't know where it is. Okay, well, I'll put this in anyways. This is the Hope Box Kit. And it makes 3 different card designs. So we were so funny last night. We had all 3 designs going. So I got to make a couple of them, and then I walked people through, you know, just one of them, how to do it. And I'm going to just walk you through them a little bit tonight, because you might have, depending on what you've received in your packet, you might have 3 different versions here. So the first version was one that I actually made last night, and that one I really like using a big stamp set. So I was excited to use one of my favorite new stamp sets. Sorry, I'm probably moving this all over the place. There we go. Good Feelings. So using this big stamp here, which you can see is now missing from here, but there's lots of beautiful big stamps in this set. Like lots of nice bold sayings. You're on my mind and in my heart. I'm just so happy for you. Thank you. And hip hip hooray. So just stamping that in some Blackberry Bliss ink. That would be a great coordinating color to go along with this. That was the one that was actually in the box when you initially got it. So just a nice big bold saying, and then you can add on the little die cuts here that I've included for you. These butterflies were the only items that were supposed to be included in this kit, or in this card, sorry. But I included another couple of die cut items. So one of these flowers, a flower maybe like this, maybe you have a larger butterfly, but put it together in a way that looks really good for you. You can even put something on the inside if you like. Okay, so I'm not going to demo that card. I hope that is enough for you. I did put dimensionals underneath this larger piece and underneath both of these butterflies. I attached this little flower here with a mini glue dot, and then these adhesive back sequins are in your envelope. So make sure you take a peek in there and don't miss out on those, because there's 5 of those for each of these cards, okay? If you didn't have a big saying like that and you wanted to use a smaller one, just punch out like a circle or a little tag, and you could even stamp a stamp set like Butterfly Brilliance, which has a big, huge stamp that makes all these butterfly images. And you could do that actually on this washed piece of paper here, and then you could just add your little tag in here with some of your butterflies. So don't have to think about this like as only being a very large stamp I mean, you might not have that. So let's work with what you got. Maybe you can make a little background out of something like Butterfly Brilliance or another stamp that you have that could create a background. Okay, so make it your own. Okay, the next card here that I kind of half created was this one here. So this includes a whole bunch of these cute little strips and then a rectangle that's white. So I've done this already. I've just used regular Stampin' Seal adhesive to put on these strips onto the white. Now you might want to make sure that you lay them out first, because I kind of got hung up and I didn't put them overhanging enough, so I had them too crowded in the center. So give them some room to breathe. That's quite all right. You'll probably have enough room for that. Also included in this is a little circle. So now is your time to run around your stamp room, or you know what, if that stresses you out, then don't worry about it. But you can do it later. Put the rest of the card together, and then there's some great stamp sets here. So like Peaceful Moments, Through It Together has a lot of great small sayings. Very Best Occasions, and even Something Fancy would be the ones that I would recommend. You'll probably find something in there for sure. So let's finish this one up together. Where did I grab this one? This one is from Very Best Occasions. I grabbed this Thinking of You. The initial idea of this hope box was just so heartfelt to me. I loved it. And it was all about spreading some hope into people's lives. So that's kind of the route that I'm taking, but I'm also using Thinking of You, because that's a saying that I actually use the most. Way more than birthdays or anything like that. I send Thinking of You cards because it can go birthday, it can go sympathy, it can go get well, right? It can cover all of the different categories and reasons to send cards. So this little piece here, while I'm waiting for this to dry, I'm just going to pop out my last little butterfly there. You can see I've got the 2 butterflies already on there. And let's put this card together. So I know I'm probably going faster than you're able to do at home, but I promise you these will be on replay forever. So it's not going anywhere. Just do what you can and then put it aside when we move on to the next card, and we can keep crafting together, and you can finish them up afterwards or even tomorrow. Okay, so I'm putting that on with dimensionals. I've got all my strips already put on there. And then the final finishing touch, once this is dried a little bit here, is to grab some dimensionals. I'm using up all my little kit dimensionals here. There we go. That's the thing with when you get enough kits, then you start getting a lot of extras, adhesives and stuff like that too left over. It's wonderful. Okay, so I've got that, and then where did my butterfly go? Oh my goodness. How did I lose that in a minute? There we go. There it is. Do you guys ever shout at your monitors or your devices and go like, it's under the envelope? I can't hear you, but I feel like you guys are helping me out. I'm just going to use a little mini glue dot to put this on. And I'm going to put it kind of part way onto that little circle and fluffing up these nice little, what are those things called? Wings. I thought I heard my kids for a second there, so my brain went into kid mode. What do you think? So cute, so colorful, right? I love Stampin' Up! Kits also for getting me outside of my color and pattern zone, because you know, if I were to think about putting a card together like this, it might be daunting for me, but if Stampin' Up! Tells me that it's okay, somehow it feels better. Isn't that weird? Okay, the last card here, which maybe you have this one. Oh, and I put on those little adhesive back sequins, so 5 of them kind of scattering up. So the last card here that we're going to create, maybe you have this one. This one is a really fun card as well. I can't really choose a favorite because I like all the colors, but this one is a real different card. So it comes with this die cut or laser cut piece actually. And all you do is have to just gently separate it from this backing piece. So then that becomes recycling. And this actually fits over a pre-printed card. And you can see it just lines up perfectly to add that extra dimension. Ta-da! So now what I'm going to do, you can put mini glue dots, or you could even be really careful with the Stampin' Seal. What I'm going to do is mini glue dots along with my take your pick tool, which is easier than said than done. There we go. I really need to do what my friend 𝙬𝙧𝙙 did and wind this these glue dots around the other way. For many, many years they had them aligned one way, and then did you guys notice this? They switched it, and I'm just an old dog and I can't learn new tricks, and so I need to do what my friend 𝙬𝙧𝙙 did and unwind the whole spool and then put it the way that I like it. I love you, 𝙬𝙧𝙙. We are two of the same creature. All right, let's put that on there. Okay, isn't that pretty? That's just got so much dimension. You can even start lifting up some of the pieces if you wanted to. I'm going to leave it a little bit flat just so that it doesn't get caught up in the envelope here. Now, this one included, can't pick that up, included a little tag. It said hope. And then here, can you guys see that? They had little strips of paper that said where there is, and then hope, right? There is faith. Now, since we don't have the stamp set that goes along with it, I'm going to let you choose whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to just use this tag on the back side. Maybe you want to just put hope in the middle there. Maybe you want to figure out a saying set that would go with these two little rectangles and this larger one. I'm going to keep it simple and just use the back side of that tag. And one of my favorite stamp sets called Peaceful Moments, where I've pulled thinking of you with all my heart. And I just love that saying. It's so pretty. So this is going to fit perfectly on that tag. And one thing I like about this set is that it's got scripty font, and it's also got plain font. And so it kind of masks, if you are a person who struggles, maybe I'll say it like that, struggles to stamp straight. This is going to help you out. I am normally pretty good with that. I mean, I've had like over 16 years of practice to stamp straight, but you know what? Sometimes though, it just doesn't work. So it's nice to have those forgiving stamp sets when you know you're just having one of those days, right? Yes, 𝙬𝙧𝙙, my long lost soul sister. So I just popped this butterfly out of its little encasement, its paper encasement. And I'm going to put that onto the card. I'm just really struggling with those glue dots. I think I have to do it. That'll be my project for after the kids are in bed tonight. Thinking of you with all my heart. Isn't that pretty? Like, I don't need more color, frankly. Like, that is just so beautiful. And almost the simplicity of that tag just makes the rest of it pop even more. And then I'm just going to put this one right there. Now, that would be beautiful as it is, but what makes it better? Always some sequins. So these are adhesive back sequins that are included in the kit. And I'm just going to put some of those on. I like the look, and maybe you like this too, of kind of scattering the sequins, looking like I just threw them kind of onto the project and that they stuck. So you can add them, deliberately onto, the butterflies or the centers of flowers. But I like to just kind of put them on like that, just as though I threw them and they stuck. Isn't that pretty? So again, if you guys are interested in this kit, I love this kit because you can see I've used 3 totally different stamp sets along with it, and I've put the cards together and they just look stunningly beautiful. This kit makes 3 of each of these 3 designs of cards. And you can purchase a refill. I think it's just $16. And then if you need it shipped anywhere in Canada, that would be extra. But if you want to pick it up from my place, it would be just $16. And you get these 9 gorgeous cards that I'm sure are going to brighten someone's day. Now, be sure again to store them. There's so many 3D elements, and you store them inside of your envelope so that they don't get damaged. Okay, that one here, I actually don't have pages flagged in my catalog like I normally do. So we're going to keep moving on to our next project. So what does that look like? It's this one here. We're going very springy. If you guys are interested in those stamp sets though, I do have them. I think I have them all on a supply sheet. Do I have a supply sheet for this one? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do have them all on a supply sheet. I do remember putting that together. So just let me know and I can email that to you. I'd be happy to add you to my newsletter list too. My newsletter list receives the supply list for all of these items before and then completed supply lists afterwards that show the finished projects. And so you have a record of everything that was used for this project and what it looks like forever if you're a part of my newsletter list. That's amazing because sometimes we don't like to give out cards, right? I know you, I see you, but we don't like to give them out because we want to replicate them or remember them. And these supply lists really will do that for you. So you can give out those cards without hesitation. I love spreading the love. Give them out even more. So this card that we're making here has a whole bunch of different color options. There's 3 different colors of cardstock for your background. There's a pool party option. That's the one I can't see that color going. I don't know. Can you imagine it going? This one here is a soft sea foam background. This is the card that we're going to be making. It's got some sequins on there and it really showcases this designer series paper. Also on this card we've got 3 flowers that start off white, and we're going to use blending brushes to bring out the texture in them. And then more texture here for this piece of white that we're going to put onto our white rectangle. So you might have that soft seafoam background, or you might have the fresh freesia. This is one that I think really is a contender for going into our core collection. It's just such a beautiful soft purple, and you can see it's really prominent in some of the designs. So I've tried to match up the designs of your designer series paper and the colors of your designer series paper into the color scheme that I've given you. But I think there's lots of play with this. Isn't this designer series paper gorgeous? I'm going to give you one little sneak peek. It's 6 inches by 6 inches and it comes looking completely textured. How the artist achieved this was a Stampin' Up! Artist actually put paint onto a canvas and then took high resolution quality images of the canvases and then did a color correct to match our Stampin' Up! Colors perfectly, and then had it printed onto designer series paper. So you get handmade art that is recreated now for us, and we get to say, I made this. Meanwhile, like, what did we do? We put some pieces together. Meanwhile, this person over there has all this amazing talent. I love it. Okay, let's start, first things first, by burnishing the fold here. So make sure you have a bone folder. Mine, you can see, is quite worn out. I have so many of these things floating around, but they sure make a difference in folding your cards so that they completely lie flat and they don't open up on their own. Now let's put the rest of this together and we'll talk about some stamping in a little bit here and some coloring of the flowers. All right, so we've got our white rectangle. Then we've got some other pieces that are going to go over top. So this is that textured piece. Isn't this really fun? It kind of coordinates with this sweep perfectly, in my opinion, because it's got that speckled, textured look. My sister's got a master's actually in fine art, so she would be able to create, she would be the one that would be able to create something like this. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm making the border around this the same on the 3 sides, the same on the 3 sides, and what that means is there's a gap in the middle. And we're just going to cover that gap with the ribbon. Okay, so I just made it so that it was nominal dimensions, and when you texture paper too, it shrinks in size a little bit because it creates these waves on it. And so I like to always have something that's going to be so forgiving in here. Alana, I'm so glad you're watching. By the way, we should get a set of projects out to you. I just realized, oh, you're not stamping along with me. We got to get you stamping. I do have some extra ones, so you just let me know if you're interested. Okay, I'm putting some Stampin' Seal adhesive on there, and you can see for this one, I put it half and half right over. Can you actually see that line of the Designer Series paper that ends there? I forgot what I was doing last night. And on my sample, you can see I did a lot better job. And I put this wrapping around only the white part. So it kind of just has the edge going over onto the Designer Series paper, but you don't really see the Designer Series paper through. So I think that's a much better looking application. Again, you can make it the other way. Let's like fine tune it. Let's next level it, right? On the back side, I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal, and I have to apologize because normally I give you a lot more ribbon to wrap around. You might even have less than what I have here. I think I did the other night. But something that's going to save your bacon is our tear and tape, and that's going to keep, if you put a layer of that in behind, like over top of the Stampin' Seal, that's just going to keep it perfectly in place. There we go. I'm not going to take, this is double-sided tape and I could take this backing off, but I want to pop this up with dimensionals, so I'm actually not going to take that backing off. I'm just going to use it like a heavy-duty Scotch tape or something like that. Now I'm using up, again, you're looking at my dimensional sheets here. I got one from a kit, and I'm using up the borders. When you do that, oh my goodness, you guys, you get so many dimensionals. And now I finished one up, I feel really accomplished. Like I've really done something here. I better get myself set up with another sheet. There are all my larger ones. I've got a whole bunch of mini ones. There we go. I've got some more large ones. So let's put this, now we've got that ribbon wrapped around, we can put this onto our cardstock base. Which way do I want to do it? That way. So fun. I love every single color combination of this. You could use, this is included actually in my paper share. If you wanted to do that, you would get 12 different sheets of this. You can make 3 cards per sheet. So you'd make 36 of these gorgeous cards without even blinking an eye, without even having to redesign anything. But I'm sure you'd want to play around with it a little bit more. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got some white flowers. They do have the texture already on them. Can you guys see that? I love that. These are a special die pack, which I will show you. And we used the leaves actually in January. Do you remember those leaves? They were kind of tucking out from the Dark Celebration flower paper that we were using in like a trifold or like a gate open card. But this is the stamp set that goes along with it. So brushed bouquet, and then you've got these dies that will cut out the outline of the flowers, but you also have these dies that will cut out textured flowers and even some leaves too. So you'll have a combination of 3 of these flowers, putting them together. And I pulled out some really fun colors. Let's take a look here. On the back of our Designer Series paper packs, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I love this feature. You get all the coordinating colors that go along with it. Now, if you are a member or if you do part of my product share, I do a typed version giving you a list of all of the colors. So you don't have to look it up online and you don't have to have all these backing sheets to save forever. So Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, these are for some inks that you'll want to grab for flowers, okay, or even your stamping. Balmy Blue, Basic Gray, Calypso Coral, Daffodil Delight, Evening Evergreen, which is not in the ones that you have here, Fresh Freesia, Night of Navy, again, I think that's in one of the ones that I didn't include. Orchid Oasis, Pool Party, Soft Seafoam, Soft Suede, and Soft Succulent. There's lots of softness in this. Soft. If it starts with soft, it's on this card. So what do I want to use? I think I got to use Fresh Freesia. I'm kind of feeling that. Do I feel like using Calypso Coral? That might be fun, right? And what's another one? Do I go crazy with Orchid Oasis? That's the one that I used on this card, but I don't see it really in this combination. So I think I'm going to not do that one. But I might just bring in some Pool Party. That might just be the perfect color combination that I need. So I'm using my blending brushes, and I just have a mixture kind of the larger and the smaller ones, depending on what colors I've got here. Looks like I'm going all small. This one is close enough. I'll rinse it out afterwards, and it'll still continue to be my yellow, peachy, pinky one. And now, what should we start with? I would like my biggest one to be the Fresh Freesia. And I am not a huge fan of orange, but look at me going outside my box. But I'm going to assign the smallest one to that. Sorry, orange, I'm a hater, but I'm including you. So you should feel good about that anyways. Pool Party is the one. Oh, look at this. That's funny. I got a little embellishment in there. So Pool Party is the one that I'm going to work on first. You can see this is an old ink pad. If you have your reinkers, you can keep using them for years and years and years. I'm starting off the sheet and then swirling on, and that allows me to have any like big splooshes onto my background paper and have a little bit more controlled application. There we go. You can make this as subtle or as dark as you want. I'm going to close that up though. Put it away before I put my fingers in it. Okay, Calypso Coral, it's your turn. I'm going to be pretty light with you. It's looking great, especially for orange. Okay, is there a color that you guys just can't wrap your head around? I think the one that I hear about most is like an orange or a yellow, but I think there is a time and a place for orange and yellow, but it's just not something that I go to all the time. So again, we've got our Calypso Coral, but it's a nice soft application. Now for this big one here, I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia. And when I'm inking it up, I'm not putting my finger on the head. That's going to apply a lot of ink onto there, especially if you have a juicy ink pad. So I like to put my finger a little bit back if I can. And you'll see me use different applications when I want a little bit more color. But I'm trying to control myself here, so I'm trying not to put my finger right on the head of the brush. These are actually brushes, so let me just show you here. Can you guys see that? They're bristles. There's just like hundreds and hundreds of bristles. A couple little shards came out there, but I haven't noticed that in any of my brushes. You know what they are? They're bits of paper. That is what's happening. So there's little bits of paper from where I die cut these, and so the brush is picking up those. Not a big deal. Not going to wreck my project in any way. If anything, my brush is helping me by cleaning off the cut edges, right? Oh, I just love blending brushes. They do wonders. We're going to play with them on our last card tonight too. Okay, so now, oh, I closed it up too early. I was going to stamp with that too. So Fresh Freesia is what I'm going to use to stamp. I use Fresh Freesia here. This is Orchid Oasis. That's one of our other in colors, but that's from the pack that is actually continuing forward for another year. I felt like this had to be an Easter card. I don't have any other Easter cards, so or sayings really. So this is the one for me. I'm doing Happy Easter, and I'm going to make 3 of them, and I'm done for Easter. I haven't cleaned up from last night, so you're going to see me do a little bit of cleaning here. Stampin' Scrub is one of my favorites. There we go. I can't open it when I have a camera in my way. You can also use a simple chamois, but as you can see, I don't have this prepped and ready to go. It's pretty crispy. Once you run this under hot water, it will still look grungy like this, but it will run clear and it will clean our stamps perfectly, just with water or even a spritz or two of the Stampin' Mist. When I get around to it though, I love using my big Stampin' Scrub and my Stampin' Mist, because this conditioning formula, you can see how old my bottle is, but you just keep refilling it. This conditioning formula will actually keep your stamps nice and soft and supple for many years. There's a side here that has little raindrops and a side that has a sun. And so you just scrub on the wet side, scrub, and then dry on the sunny side. And look at that, clean as a whistle. I love doing that for when I have a stack. I'm notorious for not putting my stuff away as I go. It's just something that I'm coming to terms with. That's who I am. I can try, but it really is not going to happen. But when I have a stack of stamps, that's what I like to use. I like to get out my Stampin' Scrub and I like to smell that delicious smell. It's lovely, isn't it? It's maybe not delicious. It's more like floral, not food. But I love it. And now I've still got that wet. I should just help myself out, right? And do a little, what do I got going on here? Scrub. I've got the wet side over here now. Scrub. Dry side, ready to go. Okay, so celebrating you. This is a really great one. It's got Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day, Happily Ever After, thanks, congrats, so proud of you, welcome little one, grateful to celebrate you every day, the best is yet to come, lots of love just for you, happy anniversary, you are every bit of wonderful. You guys know I use this one so much, and especially that beautiful happy birthday. That's a great one to add to your list. So I stamped this, you can see, a little bit off to the side, and that's because I want to put this beautiful flower up over top. So depending on the size and shape of your saying, you might do the same, or you might switch it up even from that. So let's take these off. I can tell you guys are stamping along with me, not typing. That's good. I like you guys stamping. So I'm going to put this kind of down to the bottom here, and I have it overhanging just for a bit of interest. Now these pieces are going to have some dimensionals on them. Isn't this card so soft and pretty? We're going to get darker and more mysterious in some of the other cards tonight, but this one is definitely soft and pretty. What do I want to do here? That one on top. Oh, there's a magpie right outside my window. That's pretty. And then this one kind of over top. It's a couple little paper hairs on there too. Pretty. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Now that I think would be enough, but these amazing sequins from Stampin' Up! Again, they're adhesive back sequins. They come with 300 in a pack. They're called pastel adhesive back sequins, and they're from our mini catalog. Now, what I have here is looks a bit deceiving because I didn't give anyone any gold, so I've got those left over. But these are what they look like. You get a full sheet of the large ones and a full sheet of the small ones, and they come in the 3 different colors. The blue, the pink, and the gold. I think it's balmy blue. I know that one. I think it's petal pink and gold. So these are great. I've given you 5. So you've got, 2 or 3 of the large size in a color and 2 or 3 of the small size in a color to play with. These are so easy to use and also economical. So this is a great adhesive. And if you want, again, to try any of my adhesives, or any of Stampin' Up's adhesive, I should say, you should reach out to me and I'd be happy to get you that adhesive, not adhesive, embellishments. I'm saying adhesives, but you guys know, I hope, that I'm talking about embellishments. And if you want to try them in your hot little hands, that sampler, the product share, is just the best way of trying it out. Again, I'm doing kind of the scattered technique, and I'm even putting some of them like halfway underneath this little stitched rectangle because I like the look of that. What do you guys think? Cute, right? Lots of texture, lots of sparkle. I just think that's such a pretty card. So as you're finishing up crafting along, let me show you where you can find those products. From our mini catalog, we have these pastel adhesive back sequins. They are petal pink. So 300 in a pack for $11. Such a good deal. And the adhesive is already on the back, so you don't have to be fiddling around with glue dots or, you know, fine tip glue pen or anything like that. Love, love, love it. On page 15, we used a whole bunch of goodies from here. So that pool party ribbon, isn't it pretty? It's a grosgrain ribbon with a lot of like sateen on it. Like it's got a lot of shimmer on it. It's really special. And then, oh, we didn't use that. That's on the next card. But the Fancy Flora Designer Series paper. That's the one that I teased you with before, but let me show you it right now. So all of the different sheets. So this is one of them. It comes 6 inches by 6 inches. So you don't have to miss anything when you are participating in the product share. I don't have to even cut these down. They're just so gorgeous. Isn't that fun? Oh my goodness. There we go. This is, I think, one that I used. Oh, I used it on a different sample. This is a really fun one too. Love, love, love these. You can just see, like, how do you decide, front or back? I don't know. Oh, I like that one. More graphic. And then we get to like a little bit more floral. And then, isn't that fun? Just like a whole bunch of texture. Can you imagine running that through with that textured embossing folder and adding even more texture on it? You could do that to all of these. Then we've got some of the ones that I didn't include just because they kind of deviated from my super pastel color scheme with all the pinks and the blues and the light greens. This one we start getting a little bit more browns and like almost golds and bronze colors. This is a really fun one though. Black, and I guess it's not really black, it's just gray and white and yellow. Isn't that full of sunshine and happiness? Ooh, and the back too is just so happy. Then we've got this one. Again, sunshine and happiness on the back side. This one is probably one of my favorites. I don't know why, I just love this color scheme. I think it's so unique. And then again, just makes me think of coffee on the back side, like a beautiful latte or something. Foam on the top. So pretty, right? So you could get a whole pack of these, 4 each of 12 double-sided designs, so 48 sheets total, and you could make so many cards with those. That's just $16.50. It looks like a specialty paper, but it's not. This brush bouquet bundle is the one I kind of showed you before, and this has the stamp set that goes along with it, but I really like these dies. These dies are so versatile, and then you know, you could leave them in just the white color and they would look beautiful, or you can die cut them in any color that you choose, or of course you can use the blending brushes like what we did and add your color to them. There we go. Then, speaking of the blending brushes, again, we've got 2 different sizes. So the brand new ones are these mini ones. I guess they call them small blending brushes. You get 3 in a pack, or you can get the larger ones here. You can see the size difference. And then we also have this brand new blending brush storage. This is an insert that actually fits into our topper storage. So you'll probably want to purchase that along with the topper storage. And the reason is that some people have noticed that the little arms kind of fall out the sides if you don't have something to contain it. So you might want to just look at purchasing that topper storage to go along with it. Of course, Stampin' Up! Storage solutions for markers and ink pads and the topper, they all work together. If you want to see any of the dies in more detail, be sure to check out our bundle and save pages. So these are our bundle pages where you can see the dies and then also note the bundle and save 10%, which is always the best deal. In our annual catalog, we've got some fabulous core products that I've used too. So look at that, Celebrating You, right? It's such a good one. It just has all of the different sayings in it. That's a stamp set that you will use for years and years to come. Page 129, you can see those full-size blending brushes. Those are the original larger size. And then on page 174, we use these stitch rectangles. These come in a whole bunch of different proportions, so three different proportions and then a whole bunch of different sizes. So the one that I used was a little bit longer, and that gave you the ability to use different size sayings. But look at these, as big as a card front, right? And then this one, just lonesome by itself. It's a little bit more square than the other ones. Don't feel excluded there, little die. We use you too. It's great to have all those different rectangles. And they actually stitch, maybe you can see here, you can see that it stitches on the inside and the outside of the cutting edge. So no matter if you're using it as a rectangle or like a bigger piece of paper with a rectangle hole cut in the middle, you will actually get the stitching on either side. On page 177, you'll see this painted texture 3D embossing folder, and this is another one that's just so versatile. So what you do is you put the paper in there, you sandwich it up, and then you'll put this through the Big Boss. You can maybe see it over my shoulder. You could in the beginning of the video anyways. It's a great machine, glides right through, and die cuts and embosses things perfectly. Oh, look at this. Look what I just found. My big instruction sheet for my hope box. Well, that was better late than never, I suppose. Oh boy. Okay, are you guys ready for the next card? I hope so, because we're doing it. This next card comes together so quickly and easily, and the card base is the black piece, so don't worry, you're not missing another sheet of cardstock there. Let's pull everything out onto the table. Be sure to save these clear envelopes. These are perfect for storing your cards, and you can actually even mail your cards in them too. They're fabulous because they protect your card from weather, moisture, and it gives your postal worker a little bit of a treat as well. They get to see what you've created. So you're going to have a whole bunch of different styles of this, and I'll show you the ones that I've made so far. This is a really fun fold that stands upright on its own, but it actually tucks into a regular sized envelope. I don't have, do I? I can reach. I do have regular sized envelopes. There we go. So this regular size envelope, it just fits perfectly in there once you squinch it all together. Ta-da! So this fold here doesn't allow the card to open up like a normal card, but we're going to put our little message on the back. And you might have this option with the mountain biker, or you might have a runner, or you might have a little camper or hiker with a lantern. Love this. So let's just see how we put it together. This is a piece of cardstock that's 4 1/4 inches, which is our standard size, by 8 inches. And then we scored here on the ends so that we can put a 1 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper on either side, and a 4 inch by 4 inch piece of designer series paper in the middle. And how does that all come together? Well, I've taken a 4 inch piece of designer series paper and cut 1 inch strips off of sorry, and it's 6 inches long, and I've cut 1-inch strips off of each of these ends. So you can get so many cards out of your designer series paper this way. So the lines here are scored at 1 1/4 so that we have this beautiful mat all the way around. And then this one here is 1 7/8 inch in from both sides. And again, if you want that information typed out for you, then just send me a message with your email and I will add you to my newsletter list, and they will get a copy of that in the next couple of days. We're going to burnish it so that it's kind of zigzagging. It's already scored. We're going to use our bone folder to burnish it so that it folds really nicely. There we go. And now it expands out. Let's put our designer series paper on. That's the first step. Now what you'll want to do is test it out just like I did here to make sure that the pattern continues, because I definitely gave you guys all continuing patterns, so you might have to just switch one side or the other. The little border here is going to be equal around both sides, or all 4 sides I should say. So you might notice I have multiple designs for each of my cards, and that's because I'm prepping 48 sets of this to send all over Canada for people to stamp along with me. Now, many people, they love the variety that I have, and so they don't want to miss out on any of the designs or options. So they sign up for 1 set, 2 sets, or even 3 sets of cards each month so that they can have multiple designs. So if that's something that interests you, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to send you a set or 3. All right, we've got this little mountain here, and you can see I've actually reversed it for these ones here. I liked them riding and running up, and for some reason I really wanted that saying on the left side. Now if you want to switch up your design, you can definitely do that. I might do it a little bit different for this little hiker person who I have. Got some little pieces there that just need to be popped out, so I use my take your pick tool. What do you think? Standing up on the peak here, and then the tag there, I think that looks really good. Now before I even go close to my white dimensionals, I want to remember to tell you about our black dimensionals. These are so fabulous because they come in a multi-pack. So unlike the white dimensionals where you can buy a pack of white large ones or a pack of white mini ones, when you purchase the black ones, you actually get 2 sheets of the large ones and 2 sheets of the mini ones. So I find that these ones are just so handy, especially when you've got a color scheme. Oops, I'm doing it opposite than what I wanted. Do as I say, not as I do. There we go. So we'll just put some of those little mini dimensionals on the back side there. I'll put a couple on the back side of my little hiker person. Which way is this person supposed to be? I want them facing the tag. Are you guys funny like that too? Like, you're very particular about how something should face on the card? Like, the person, in my opinion, should always be like facing towards the message. I don't know. Weird little design things that we get hung up on, right? Now this one, I could align it with the bottom of the cardstock, but what I'm actually going to do is leave that bottom of the cardstock as open, kind of like a continuous border, and I'm going to align it with the bottom of the designer series paper. And then we've got our little hiker person. They're going to be standing on top of the hill. Where do they want to be? I think they want to be right there. And for the stamping, I'm going to do that next. I'm using the coordinating stamp set that goes along with this. So it's called Greatest Journey. And then the die pack that is bundled with it is where we have all these amazing die cut images coming from, including that little mountain, that ridge. Love that. These awesome clouds. Even some trees and a tent, as well as a little detail part of the tent that you can pop up. And then this here is these beautiful flowers. I'm kind of thinking that I want to do maybe just these trees. That's what I stamped on the back side there. And what should I put as a saying? You belong among the stars. I think that calls for some Wink of Stella. You guys know me and my Wink of Stella. I actually don't think I showed this last night, so I apologize. But I'm going to put in some stars. So I'm going to take my Wink of Stella. This is clear shimmer paintbrush. There's a little something on there. Here we go. Clear shimmer paintbrush. But it's kind of got like a platinum look to it, and you can paint it on, but I really like to spackle my project with it. There we go. I'll bring it closer. It is subtle, but you do notice it when you see it in person. Okay. So you can see there's like just some little speckle dots on there, and when you see it in person, it shows up as this beautiful like sparkly platinum look. So let's use You Belong Among the Stars. And I already have some blocks up here. That one's ready to go. This one, I'll just peel it off. So our stamps come in photopolymer or that red rubber that you saw. The photopolymer now, you can just put them right back into the case like that. I like holding this up too, because then you can see which ones are missing. Because sometimes as I'm using them, I put them back in here after I've used them, and I don't kind of peel all this off. I don't spend my time doing that. So, oh, look at this. There's a great little stamp too that you could do some stamping with the stars. Oh, that's adorable. I've already got this drying on here, but if I had paid attention, then I would have caught that a little bit earlier. So when you're using the photopolymer, all I do is just kind of rest it on my grid paper and then pick up the block. But you can keep using the same blocks for either of these. Now, my favorite black ink is our Memento ink. It has a white lid that's so confusing because our clear ink has a black lid, but our black ink has a white lid. That makes sense, right? But it just inks up so well. Now, if you're ever wondering, I really like using my grid paper sometimes to just make sure that I can stamp it so perfectly and that I'm going to get a nice clear image. So this paper is not as smooth as our basic white cardstock, which is what I've done your die cuts out of. Oh my goodness, what's happening here? There we go. Stars. You belong among the stars. You can see with this, I kind of wiggle it back and forth. This stamp set has a lot of solid images on there, so I just want to make sure that the ink is settling into any dips maybe that are in the paper. The dips are very subtle and small, but there is still, even though that paper is pressed so fine, there's still sometimes just a little bit of unevenness, as it's not like glass or something like that, right? And it's going to do the same thing here. Just kind of wiggle it back and forth, making sure that I've got really good coverage. Oh, it looks gorgeous. Now, if you ever have trouble with like a solid stamp like that and your Memento ink, you might need to use an eraser and just rough it up a little bit, or even like a fine sanding block and rough it up. Clean that off then using your simple chamois or your Stampin' scrub, and then try stamping with it. I think that you'll have great success with that. But sometimes, you know, you don't get an image that's that is that clear. So make sure your ink pad is really inked up, and then you might want to just try your stamps with a few different stamp sets just to see if maybe your stamp surface, the photopolymer, I notice more so than our red rubber, and that's just benefits and drawbacks to each of them, each of those two materials, right? The photopolymer, you can see right through it, and so it's really fabulous for aligning things, but it doesn't tend to have as much give as the red rubber. Oh, you might even want to check out the surface that you're stamping on too as well. So if you are struggling to get clear stamped images, or maybe you're getting halos around it or something like that, then just make sure that you're stamping on a really hard surface. This is a flat IKEA tabletop, but if your table is warping at all, then you'll want to make sure to put like even a catalog or a foam stamp pad that Stampin' Up! Sells underneath, and then that just evens out the pressure for when you're working with photopolymer. They don't have the foam built into the stamps because you see through them completely. And then, but the negative is that sometimes you might have some uneven stamping. Oh, I know, Sarah, this paper is so gorgeous, isn't it? Every sheet is just even more exciting than the next too. When I show you it in a second, you'll see the versatility. You see a little bit here, right? The vibrant colors, and I'm going to put some of these clouds a little bit low here. There we go. Oops. My dimensional's in the way. Because I want these stars to really show. What am I doing here? Oh, I have this die cut went a little bit crazy, I guess, on my version. I saw that there were just a couple, so I think I gave myself a version that was like that. That's funny. Here we go. Put my dimensional further down, and that way I can just nestle this up here. And I'm going to put this cloud kind of tucked in behind, coming out. Ooh, I just love that. So you can have this hanging over. This is a little bit too much now, though. Can you see that? It's not going to fit into the envelope, so I have to take it back, dial it down a notch here, and then I can fit it right there. Man, oh man, that's just really pressing this down. I keep wanting to put it too high. There we go. So yeah, you can overhang the front to create this really cool like 3D look. But you just don't want to overhang the outside of the card there. Now our final finishing touch is to put on some dots, and you might have them in white, or you might have them in the navy color like what we got going on there. So I'm just going to put these on kind of the two different levels. What do you guys have? Do you have mountains? Do you have the sky? Do you have the forest? Do you have the runner? Do you have the cyclist? Do you have this little camper person? Oh, it is great for scrapbooking too. I know, I was just talking about that last night too, and how the pages actually can be used in a few different ways. Oh, I hope you guys like that card. And that little bit of 𝙬𝙧𝙚 on there is really taking it up a notch for me. Okay, let's talk about where these products come from. So from our mini catalog, I'm going to turn to page 37, which every time I turn here, I'm like, I didn't use that stamp set. Why did I flag this page wrong? But it's these enamel dot essentials. Did you guys miss those in the catalog too? Oh my goodness, I really thought that I had gone crazy actually. 2 times now. Now I've used all of the navy ones and the white ones, but what's left are these awesome little crumb cake ones, which I'm going to use on a swap card, I think. I just love those colors. So really neutral, and then of course anything that's white you can color whatever color that you want using our Stampin' Blends alcohol markers. Those can color the white ones. They can color the other ones too, but they just might not show up, right? Okay, on page 59 though, this is where you'll see this whole gorgeous suite. So we were talking before about this greatest journey, and the greatest journey is a bundle and save 10%. I really like the dies on their own. They can work on their own. There's just a couple here that, you know, would be like, maybe this one here is a little bit of a strange silhouette, but you can use the trees on its own. But in conjunction with the stamp set, I think is where this really shines, because you've got all these amazing sayings, right? Mountains of thanks, wishing you joy in this next adventure. This moment is the start of something great. I love that. And then even the stars, which wouldn't that have been great to use tonight? That's so funny. Okay, also on this page, 2 of you, would you believe it? I didn't have enough of these for everyone. I did have enough except for 2 people received these enamel sticker icons, but it means that I can talk about them tonight because they're so cool. Now, when I was first looking at them, I didn't realize that there were 64 of them that came in a pack, so I thought it was just like one sheet, and I didn't think that that was very good value. But when I opened it all for my product share, I was so pleased to discover that you actually do. You get so many of these. So this is just one sheet, but I wanted to show you how you can change them up. So using some colors here, I've actually colored right onto the epoxy dot. This is, sorry, it's an enamel dot, and created that beautiful fire look. Can you see that? And then down here, this one, I've used my dark soft succulent to color onto that one to just take it up a notch. And you can do that for any of them. I love, love, love those epoxy, no, they're enamel sticker icons. They're nothing to do with epoxy. That's a totally different plastic. Now at the bottom of this page here is the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. And this is the one that Sarah and I were oohing and awing over, because these sheets are just totally unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this from Stampin' Up! So take a look at these gorgeous pieces of paper. They're 12 inches by 12 inches, and they feature these really vibrant colors. The back sides are all more graphic prints. So look at this one. Can you see that? That's where this actually came from. So with this sheet of paper, you can cut it into 4 different pieces and make 4 cards like this. Or you can change it up. You can cut it in half and use it on a camping scrapbooking page or something like that. But look at these mountains. Aren't they incredible? So these ones are completely reversible. You can use them just like this for this card, right? You get 4 of them out of this. And then in the middle, you get this gorgeous ombre looking paper, which is just the perfect ombre from blue to purple. But you can also use this, like this is a mountain range, this is a mountain range, and then up here this is a mountain range, and then the sky, right? Or vice versa. Isn't that cool? I think it makes more sense to have the green more in the background and going into the blue haziness in behind. But isn't that stunning? So unique. On the back side there, look, you got the stars. Same sort of thing here. This is like Arizona to me. I just think like arid desert, and you can do the same thing for this one, right? Have this one as like the foreground and this one as the background, or you can flip it around, and then this is the foreground, and these are the mountains in the distance with the sun setting over the mountains. So pretty. You got a fun little zigzag pattern. This one is a great little forest, kind of going into the mist. And the back side of there, oh my gosh, I just love it so much. How about this one? Beautiful. And that's how you get this little piece right here, right? So you can get 4 of those out of each of the sheets. The back side, you've got this great kind of textile pattern. And so what do you get if you were to make cards like this? You have some leftover pieces maybe, but look at how beautiful these pieces are to use as well. I'm going to have lots of fun using those on some projects. Are you guys obsessed with this paper like we are? I hope so. It's just so fun. On page 79, you can see the dies a little bit more clearly for this greatest journey. The green mountains are your favorite. Oh, I just love those. Okay, then what am I doing here? From our annual catalog, let's talk about what we need here. Black dimensionals, right? Gotta have those in your collection for those dark colored cards. And I use this big score tool. It's called the Simply Scored scoring tool, and it's great for making all different kinds of boxes or 3D projects or even fun folds. I even use it for that first card because when you fold the card this way, it actually goes against the grain of the paper, and so you don't really get a nice crease unless you get that score in there first. So this is a really useful tool and great for mass production. If you want a 2-in-1 tool, you can see just the little arm here of our paper cutter, and that has a scoring blade and a cutting blade on it too. So you can do essentially the same thing. The other is just really good for mass production. Now the tag, did you guys even notice that tag? Maybe we're looking at the paper too much. This comes from He's All That, or sorry, All That dies. And these are really great dies that include a little bit of embossing on each of these little tags. Can you guys see that extra little edge that's put in there? So that's what gives that little border around. And it just takes it up a notch. Again, you've got lots of flags, you've got this cute little argyle, and some great shapes there that are really versatile. The stamp set that goes along with that is really great too. And you can bundle and save 10% when you purchase the two together. Are you guys ready for the last card? Alrighty, it looks just like this. We can put all these other ones aside. And we're going to have some fun with some ink on this one. So the coordinating colors are Evening Evergreen, that's this one here, and Soft Succulent. But really, you can put whatever color that you want on there. But I want to showcase these. Look at that, that's funny. I want to showcase this little piece here because we are going to transform this piece, or we can transform this piece into this layer here in behind our beautiful lantern. Isn't that dramatic? I've got the copper foil paper, and then this and the little lightning bug, little lantern, what do they call it? Lantern bugs? Fireflies, lantern bugs. His bum is the same paper as this glowing lantern. And it's all brought together with our beautiful gilded gems, which are part of my 2-part free gift this month. So you can make this part as dark as you want. This is the one that I did last night, and I really went to town with that Evening Evergreen. And I've got this Soft Succulent in the middle. Now this I did kind of the same sort of application, just a little bit lighter, and I'm going to show you an even lighter version of it tonight. So you can go as light or as dramatic as you want in whatever colors that you choose. I kind of went monochromatic with this, with just a little bit of brown, so that you guys can play around with whatever colors really speak to you. So let's dig out our blending brushes. And when I say dig, I'm like literally digging through my drawer here. Here we go. I've got some here. We've got the Soft Succulent and the Evening Evergreen. Again, these are in colors that I'm just devastated are leaving us. I'm really feeling like both of these could be contenders in our new color renovation. But then I was reminded last night that Lost Lagoon is actually coming back. This is a retired in color. I don't even know when it was from. It doesn't say on there. But it's quite similar maybe to the Soft Succulent, right? I remember it as being a little bit more blue, so I feel like maybe this color swatch is off. But I'm excited to see Lost Lagoon coming back, which leads me to believe that Soft Succulent might actually be leaving us, but I really have a hunch about Evening Evergreen, you guys. I'm going to start lighter and then go darker. I'm using the larger brushes for this one, and I'm keeping handy a little piece, it just happens to be dimensional backing paper, that I'm going to use to hold onto my project as it starts to get more inky. I'm just going to use it as a handle and not really like a mask or anything like that, but just a handle. And I didn't do a good job of it there, you guys. And I got a little bit of a splooch as an example. But start off your project and then glide in, because when you first put this down, sometimes you get a little bit more of a deposit of ink. And so if you start it off your project and then work in, that's going to be a little bit more successful for you. So this is really showcasing some of the texture of the paper. I'm going to put that aside and go into my evening evergreen. Again, you could keep working it and adding more and putting even more pressure onto the head, and that will give you a darker application. But all of these, or both of these here, started off as very vanilla paper. I figured you could also leave it as very vanilla paper, but I really like the look of the deepness. So as I start to spin this around now, I'm going to use my little scrap piece of paper, which happens to be, again, dimensional backer, but you could use whatever. And that's going to act as like a handle so that I don't get ink all over myself. I'm doing this first so that we have plenty of time for it to dry. And I'm going to do some more embossing with it tonight. So this, I left it a little bit more plain. I'm going to do a little bit more with it tonight. Oh, I ended up making it like pretty much as dark as that soft succulent. That's funny, isn't it? I have to darken it up just a little, just to make it look even deeper. There we go. This is looking fun. Is the camera shaking? Sorry if I'm making you guys seasick. Let's put that to the side now once you got that to a place where you like it. And we're going to put away our ink pads, because ink pads are like magnets for my fingers. There we go. Okay, so what else do we got going on here? This gorgeous paper, you might have it in this gold color to match the bum and the glowing lantern, or you might have it in the soft succulent. This is our new shimmer, fine shimmer paper. Isn't it spectacular? Now I've taken it up a notch even further with a really fun die that actually doesn't cut anything. It only kind of stitches this design into the paper. So I cut my rectangles first, and then I was able to lay 3 on here and crank them through. And when you put them through the Big Boss, it will put pressure on it and then give you this gorgeous look. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love that. Now you might be wondering, is this the paper that I'm including for free with a minimum $100 order? It's similar, but it's a little bit different. I'll show you the two together here. So this is the brand new fine shimmer that comes in a 3-pack, 3-color pack. You get 2 sheets of each of the 3 colors, and it's from the mini catalog. Now this here is the gold shimmer vellum that's retired, and it's included as your gift. Can you guys see my fingers through there? It's kind of got this translucent look to it. It's got some gorgeous shimmer on there too. So similar, but a little bit different. You could definitely use it in the same sort of application as what I've done here, and it would look gorgeous. Okay, what are we going to do here? Let's start putting together our card. Get my bearings a little bit. I've got a little, I don't know, a wet spot or something like that. It must be, it's not anything truly wet because it was just in an envelope. So we'll cover that up. I love doing this. And then, you know, putting, you could have all kinds of stamping on there. Nobody would ever know. And then you just pop that right over the top. Secrets. It's like Leonardo da Vinci. I'm going to equate myself to Leonardo da Vinci, who has underpaintings on all of his paintings that they're now, you know, looking at with ultrasounds, like forensic. Yeah, I'm pretty much Leonardo da Vinci over here. Yeah, no problem. But you guys are too, right? I'm just going to put this on with some Stampin' Seal. It's got a really small border on this, so I don't find that I need more dimensionals. Plus, I'm going to go dimensional crazy for the rest of this, so I want it to be able to fit in an envelope and go through standard postage. Okay, I'm going to wait to put this on because this is the mat that goes under there, and I'm just going to give that another minute since I'm going to be doing some embossing. But as I get ready here, I can pop out some of these little pieces. They come out so nicely. And this just looks stunning, doesn't it? I'm a huge fan of these lanterns. Maybe you guys have noticed I actually have one in my front room as well. It's just so beautiful. So we've got that ready to go. Let's put together this little firefly. I'm going to use these dimensionals, or sorry, not dimensionals, but the mini glue dots that I've been lamenting this whole time. I'm going to put one underneath his head. And you know what I can do right now is actually just go ahead and put one under his abdomen, thorax. What is it? Come on, you science teachers. Shout at your computers. Okay, so now I'm going to put my wings on. These wings are done in my favorite product that I use every single month without even trying, are Vellum. And then this little bum, we're getting real sciencey over here, guys. We're going to layer that, and he's sticking on with the little glue dot that I put kind of lower. So I had one here that held on his wings, and then I had one here and that held on his body. And since I've got him kind of flipped over, ready to go here, I am going to put on a black dimensional. So he's ready to go. Ta-da! Why don't I put some dimensionals on this too? I'm putting 3 on here. The most important one maybe is to put it right there. And that's so that we can hold on that glowing orb in behind. You could use white or black dimensionals for this. So I'm actually putting 3 on. Can you guys see that? This one here, maybe I'll show you. I'm going to put some Stampin' Seal on the back here, but this is actually going to be adhered directly to the card, and it's going to create a little bit of a layer because I'm going to put it on just like that. So when I press it onto the card, this piece will be aligned perfectly, but there's dimension between the 2 pieces there. Does that make sense? Clear as mud, right? Now, you might be saying, Kelly, what's with the 2 circles? And that's because I'm really excited that there are circle punches again. Woohoo! But also because I wasn't sure if you were going to get this vanilla piece colored. So I thought that the vanilla went well with it colored. But if you left it vanilla, then I thought that you needed a little bit more contrast. So I gave you a soft succulent one too. So I'm going to go with this vanilla one. I'm using a stamp set that coordinates with these dies. It's called Lighting the Way, and it's got these great sayings. So I think I got to go with You Are All Kinds of Wonderful again, because that one's just so amazing. I'm going to be embossing on this, so if you have an ink pad that you prefer to use, you can definitely do that. So I'm going to use that Versamark, which I was kind of referencing before, is our clear ink, which has the black lid. Not to be confused with our black ink that has the white lid, right? That's not confusing at all. And if you're embossing, let's just remember to use our embossing buddy. This comes in an embossing toolkit, which has a tray and some reverse pinchers that are ceramic tip, so it's heat resistant. And so these reverse pinchers, when you have them closed, they pinch tight to hold whatever piece of paper. And when you pinch them, then it lets it go. Really handy. And you guys, I didn't think I was going to be as obsessed as I am with these. These are some of the best tools, best made tools that I have felt in a long time. They're really, really good quality. So what do we do here? We get the embossing buddy, which puts a fine powder over top of the paper. It takes away any sticky fingerprints or any static electricity. Then we're going to use our clear ink. I'm going to stamp this kind of in the center there. And then You're like, well, what's the deal, Kelly? Like, why are you so excited about this? Well, here's where the magic comes in. I'm going to use my tray, which is similar to the one that comes in the pack. I don't know where that one is. It's somewhere. I'm notorious for having about 7 embossing powders on the go. I'm going to use my reverse tweezers. Oopsie. I'm going to get a better grip on it, first of all. And, oh my goodness, what's going on here? Yeah. It's because I'm scooping it weird. And I'm going to tap it over. And this super sticky ink is going to stick all of that embossing powder on. Now the final finishing touch is to blow it off, or you can use a little fine tip paintbrush and take it off. Why is this so staticky, I wonder? I use the embossing powder, or the embossing buddy. Yeah, that's better. Wherever the embossing powder lays is where it stays when you do the next step, which is, oh, you know what? I gotta get a little bit more here. Come on, right? I don't know why this is being finicky tonight. Probably because it knows it's like, oh, this is being recorded forever? Yeah, great. Okay, so the next step is to take away your embossing powder tray. Do not bring in your heat tool with your embossing powder tray nearby, because it just will blow everywhere. But now I'm going to use this heat tool, which heats up. It has 2 different settings, but it heats up to about 300 degrees here. And I'm going to heat set this. You're going to see it start to go. Oh, isn't that amazing? So it's actually melting the embossing powder into the paper, and it's not getting hot at all on my fingers because I've got these amazing little tweezers. And now you have this beautiful embossing on there. Whoops, the camera's freaking out. Can you guys see that? It's just the most amazing technique. I want to applaud myself every single time I heat emboss something. And it's not even me that's really doing it, it's just the powder, but it looks so beautiful. And you can do that with image stamps, you can do that with sayings, you can do it as backgrounds, you can even do techniques where you're making it like faux metal. Ooh, I love that technique. And then you can even stamp into the faux metal. Oh, you guys, we got to do an embossing class, don't you think? Okay, I've got that. It's ready to go. I'm going to put the dimensionals in weird spots, actually. There we go. Nope, it doesn't want to come off. You guys, all my products are revolting against me. Here we go. New one. Now let's do a little bit of heat embossing on here. I'm just going to take this up a notch because I have the stamp set. So if you have it too, I'm going to use this fun one of all these little fireflies kind of flocking to the light, floating around the distance. They're really small. So let's do that. You could even use, since we've got some gilded gems, which are in 3 different sizes, you could even emboss these 3 different sizes of fireflies in the back and then use the gilded gems as their bums. Wouldn't that be cute? Are you guys offended that I'm saying bum so many times? I hope not. I apologize. I do have 2 small children. It might just be my life right now. So I'm going to put that embossing buddy on there. This is really important for this, so that it doesn't have any wetness on the ink. I'm just going to grab whatever block I have, use my Versamark. I'm going to put it a little bit over to the side, just so that it can be seen. So again, clear ink, stamps clear. You can use that for many different techniques as like a watermark impression. So it'll make whatever ink color, I'll give you a demonstration of that, whatever ink color or whatever paper color that you're using looks like you stamped the same color of ink on it. So really, if you're going to buy one ink pad, it's the Versamark, because it's going to replicate every single ink that you own, or that matching color of the cardstock of everyone that you own. Isn't that fun? Okay, it does stay sticky. It's not stinky. Oh my gosh, you guys, things are taking a weird turn. All right, where's my paintbrush? The embossing powder really wants to stick tonight for some reason. Look how much is coming off. It must be because of the ink on this one. But I feel like it was just like this on the other very vanilla cardstock too. Okay, put it away, Kelly, so that we don't have that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to heat emboss. So pretty. Are you guys having as much fun as I am? I sure hope so. Okay, now we can adhere this together. So stamp and seal onto the back of your very vanilla piece. Watch out for dimensional booby traps that you left yourself here. Now, once you've inked this up, I wouldn't rub on it to smooth it down. Flip it over and then just rub from the back side, and that's going to keep your fingers from getting all inky. There we go. Now we can put on some more of our dimensionals. And then I think we're just ready to put this thing all together. You guys ready for this? Okay, y'all ready for this? Okay, I've got this piece that's going to go on kind of near the bottom, and I've got like a little ziggy-zaggy happening there. And then the next piece that I'm going to put on, I already have my Stamp and Seal adhesive on there, and it's got that little glowing orb on there. I'm going to put that bottom left. Oh, I love how this is looking. Then we've got our tag, which is going to go up. And I put the new one in a weird spot too, you guys. There we go. It's like I haven't made this before. You guys know that's not true. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive here just so it lays flat. I crumpled it a couple of times, so I don't want it to bump up. And then we're going to put on our little firefly, and he kind of goes there. And then you've got your final finishing touch of these 3 gilded gems. One of each of the 3 sizes there, so you can see just how beautiful and big they are. Putting the largest and the smallest here next to each other, and then we can put this one maybe down here. So cute. Isn't that cute? What do you guys think? So pretty, right? This card I think you could make with so many different designer series papers, or like, wouldn't it be great too with these designer series papers too? But you guys know I love me some paper pumpkin, and my favorite kit of all was actually a kit from a few years ago called the Summer Nights kit, and this is the add-on kit. This just gives you 24 envelopes and 24 card bases. They are perfect though for this lantern. Look at this, it's already got the spackle of the starry skies, and you don't have to do any blending, and you get this gorgeous ombre look. And so these are all pre-cut, pre-inked, pre-scored card bases, which you can then add onto. And I just think that this is such a perfect coordinating set. The real perfect coordination even comes into the envelopes, which come in the 3 different colors. And look at this, gold embossing on the other side. Guys, like, it's so perfect, isn't it? So you can also purchase the refill kit for this paper pumpkin. This is as a part of my retired kit sale, but you can also get this add-on kit too. So just let me know if you are interested in those. I'd be happy to link you up to where you can find them. I have them on my Facebook page in a little store section that I have there. Alrighty, let's go now to our catalogs, where I'm going to show you where you can find these products. And I want you to start thinking, like, you can think about this, start thinking about my big question that I'm about to ask you too. Mini catalog here. On page 15, we've got this pack of the Fine Shimmer paper pack. These are what I showed you before, but they are single-sided, but it's a really fine shimmer. There's not a lot of texture to this, but it's just packed with gorgeous color. And look at the colors that you have. So the soft succulent, which we used here, the gold, which I used on my card here, and also on this orb and the little firefly. And then there's a fresh freesia color. So do you remember this color that I was oohing and awing over in our first card here? Yeah, that's the color. It's just spectacular. So you're going to love that paper pack. It comes with 2 sheets of each of the 3 colors. And again, if you're interested, definitely hit up my paper share. My product share, this is a part of it. All right, we've got also the Bundle and Save 10% Lighting the Way bundle, where you've got this great little stamp set, and you can see the outlines here are what is going to be die cut from the dies. So it does cut out some of the images from the dies, but it also cuts out, oh, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. It also cuts out so many images that can be used on their own. You can see the lantern, the build your own firefly, then the 3 little fireflies there. I love it. Love, love, love it. And then, of course, you guys like old hat. You're like, yeah, she's using those blending brushes again. Just remember, if you're purchasing that blending brush storage, then be sure to purchase the storage topper unit from the annual catalog to go along with it. So then your little handles don't go sticking out the sides. It'll just hold them a lot nicer for you. So the small blending brushes are in the mini catalog, and the large blending brushes are in the annual catalog. And what else do we have going on here? I showcase the heat tool, and oh, I'm going to sneeze again. I shouldn't put my hand up though, because it smells like Bath and Body Works soap. So we've got the 3-pack here of metallics. You can get a basics pack, which includes embossing powders in black, clear, and white, or you can get the metallics, which has copper, gold, and silver. I actually used the gold tonight because I was kind of tying in all the rest of this gold. I used it on the other cards too, but you could also use copper. That would look beautiful. On this page here, blending brushes. Oh, and the Versamark ink, of course, which you can use as a watermark or you can use for embossing as a super sticky ink. The brush metallic cardstock comes in a 3-pack with copper, gold, and bronze. And that one gives you 2 each of the 3 colors, so it's a really good pack. That's what we use for this beautiful lantern. The vellum, which I use on every single card club set of projects. I love this. This adds extra textural element. This is what we use on the wings. It adds another textural element, but it doesn't add another color. It just softens whatever's there. So for me, I'm a matchy-matchy kind of person, and this just makes me really happy. Again, that stitched greenery is a huge die that actually doesn't cut anything. It just stitches. So can you imagine piecemealing some maybe leftover designer series paper strips? We were talking about this last night. And then doing this die over the top and making it look like a top stitching on a quilt. Oh, I love that idea. Oh, it just gets the creative juices going, doesn't it? Okay, now I'm to the hard question time. And those of you who stamped with me before, they know what I'm going to ask next. And that is, what was your favorite project tonight? Did you like the lanterns? Did you like the adventures and mountains? Did you like your Easter card? Or maybe you were gaga over this kit. which I really am actually. And I love the way that these projects came out. So if you have fast fingers, get typing. I love, love, love to know what you have fallen in love with tonight. What has inspired your creativity? Oh, I forgot to mention, you guys, this is that 2-inch circle punch that came back. I'm just so happy that it's back. Oh, I love it. Okay, you guys are still busy stamping, I guess, tonight. So nobody's answering me right now, but I want to hear in the comments. So whether you're watching this on YouTube, whether you're watching the replay on Facebook, however you're watching it, I really want to know, because it helps me to figure out your personal styles and if your creative juices are going along with me. I will tell you, last night there were a lot of people who loved this one here. And I gotta say, it's kind of near and dear to my heart too. But some people really like the fresh, clean, soft colors in this Easter card. Do I have to choose a favorite from my babies? These are kind of my babies. You know, this project here, to me, has like a lot of care and attention given to it. A person who is not a crafter, who might look at this card, might not understand the detail that has gone into, you know, customizing this paper from this color to this color. But I just love interacting with my products that way. And so I think this one, it might just nudge above the others. But this really, to me, fills a niche, because you have those active people in your life, and you know, sometimes a card isn't quite a fit for them. This card, I can think of, you know, a handful of people that this specific card would go for, that this specific card would go for. And this one is just my dad. He's such a runner. I was reminiscing last night about how when we were younger, my siblings and I, he tried to inspire us into running. And he said, okay, kids, this is probably when I was like 19 or 20 years old. And he's like, okay, kids, I have a challenge for you. I will pay you $1,000 if you will run a half marathon with me. And all three of us were like, nope. So that backfired, and we never got past, you know, into that runner's high that he's so excited about. But he's still an avid runner, and I think I gotta give him that card. That makes me think of him. So I hope you guys can think of some cards that, or some people that you can give these cards to. And I'm so grateful that you were stamping along with me. Now, as always, thank you for watching the replay. Please make sure to like this video and share it with your friends who you think would be inspired by these. And then be sure to follow my channel on Facebook, on YouTube, anywhere I am. I'm on Instagram, and reach out to me as well. If you're within Canada, I can send you a packet of cards, and I have a whole bunch of videos that you can reference, and some card kits for those as well. And you could just be crafting along with me for class after class. So please reach out. I would love to stamp with you soon. So thank you again for joining me, and I hope to stamp with you again very soon.